we're used to this news. Dreadful.
Yes.
As bad as it is, each time we hear the news, it is bad. People burned inside a bus in Sokoto. In Katsina, a daily occurrence. In Zamfara State, nearly hourly occurrence. Yobe and Borno have not completely healed.
Yes, my people, as it is hot, it don't happen. No, our vice presidential candidate, this man is too educated, which is dirty. This man is very intelligent, and this man is a peaceful man. Man, as Sidwete address the killing of the Labour Party women leader for North. He addressed the issue, he calm issue down. He not point any accusing finger, because this man is a peaceful man. If now other political parties, they got the point accusing finger already. Every year got the hot already. The man calm the issue down. Make I not talk too much. My obedient family, like this video, share this video, and comment your opinion. Make the world see the kind of vice president candidate who they bring come aside.
It felt bad as usual, sorrowful, distasteful, and this one carries a bit of another kind of color. It's a lady. Election time, build up to elections. Nothing was carried away. In that particular area, we're not used to, well, we're very used to assassinations. Only about 3-4 months ago, I'm sorry I have to say this here, I have an engineer that has worked with me and his relatives, and he was sending out a distress signal in the same Kaya local government of Kaduna State that his father's house, and his late father was an 80-year-old retiree from Nigerian Railway Corporation. 15 minutes later, a casual text came to my phone that's it, they'd killed his father. Less than 3 months ago. We're used to this news. Dreadful.
Yes.
As bad as it is, each time we hear the news, it is bad. People burned inside a bus in Sokoto. In Katsina, a daily occurrence. In Zamfara State, nearly hourly occurrence. Yobe and Borno have not completely healed. Kaduna, of all places, it is happening in the center of northern Nigeria.
But do you look at that particular attack on your party's women leader and see a correlation between that and politically motivated violence? Because I mean, there is insecurity generally in Nigeria, but it's the link between that and politically motivated violence. Or do you see it as a random attack in an area that you said is known to be prone to such sort of wanton violence?
I really can't link the two. I have not had the means, I have not received or read any report for that matter, so I'm unable to link it with politics right now. The best I can do is to speak about the general situation. Over 8 years ago, the average Nigerian, by a statistic I'm trying to build up, we were all above 20 kilometers away from an illegal firearm. Today we're speaking of all Nigerians on average being under 2 kilometers away from a firearm, illegal firearm. So it's only a matter of getting closer, taking an aim, and shooting. That's what is stopping. That's what is between every Nigerian.
But obviously, if this is linked to political violence, I mean, although any killing is gross enough, but if it's linked to political violence, then it means that things have gone up a notch between the political rivals.
Yes, but you don't expect me to link it without a thorough investigation. The means of which I do not have.
Yes, totally understandable. Nevertheless, beyond the killing, which is a fairly extreme thing to have happened, we saw you earlier delivering a speech today. You've accused the other competing parties of crossing the boundaries of decency, and you've suggested that they are transgressing on peaceful activities. What do you mean by that?
Verbal attacks, disrespectful comments against a peaceful leader of ours. Let me start from the top. There is no harm, respectfully, when I say His Excellency, the former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential I give respect to him, his name, the institution, the traditional title, and I feel good about it. But when you find a presidential as candidate in the ruling party, stating that it is disgraceful or was it embarrassing to mention the name of another, you know there is willful, deliberate, forceful attempt to disparage, disrespect, okay, and reduce the name. For all intent and purpose, internationally acclaimed, Peter Obi is a man of honor, highly respected globally. He is welcomed to every presidential villa in the world, the White House, the number 10 Downing, and many others. Who are you to say that you can't mention his name? And what is the purpose of that? Now, these are things we don't want our children to see. We don't want other Nigerians to learn from. And it is very, very necessary, therefore, to let them know, don't do this again. Then, coming down the line, 6 weeks ago or thereabouts, Mr. Shetima was, at one fell swoop, destroyed Atiku's reputation.
And Mr. Shetima is the vice presidential candidate of the APC.
Of the APC. So you see there's a pattern in it. They have the security apparatus, they have the finances of this country, have had those of their states for so long. They are coming with all this arrogance. In one fell swoop, this man said that Atiku was selling pure water. Atiku has been, for God's sake, a vice president, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Show some respect to him. Age-wise, he is by far senior to you. This is not consistent with the education and training from the scholars, great scholars of Borno Empire. I studied in Borno. I know what respect means. He said spewing dubious statistics. This is a man who does not know the difference between statistics, index, data, ratios, figures, and so on. He just said dubious statistics, putting everything together and just condemning it. So it is very important and instructive that we tap them on the shoulder somehow, like, gentlemen, we are not doing this style of politics. We took an oath. We signed. Remember, Tinubu was absent in the Abdusalam Abubakar-led signing of the peace accord. So you can see the disdain that they are treating not just the peace accord itself, the rest of us who are stakeholders in Project Nigeria and Project 2023 elections. It has to stop.
So is it your sense at this stage that the rhetoric between the parties and their candidates seems to be getting more vitriolic? Because, I mean, in addition to what you talked about transgressing on peaceful activities, you've also accused your political opponents of making attacks against and disinformation about the Labour Party fashionable in this election.
You are not wrong if you say accused, but you will be more correct if you say we stated the facts, because really everything we stated there is backed by evidence. Everything I submitted today, backed by solid evidence. For example, they jump at every small opportunity to set Peter Obi against the North and the Muslims. When oil production was the front line news, somebody
discovery of oil.
No, I think it's production.
Well, the production process right, in the North.
Somebody felt he could justify their salaries by jumping and, this is an opportunity to say that Peter Obi hates the North. Nothing could be further from the truth. I joined Peter Obi's ticket because I know Peter Obi loves the North. He talks about the North day and night. He talks about the North being the greatest physical asset of Nigeria. The land itself, the wealth in it. When we found oil and began to produce, he couldn't be any happier. And now somebody is paid because it is political season again. Find anything that is out of this world, just put it against them. The point also we're making today is that, look, Nigerians are not reckless and careless consumers of news. Nigerians are beginning to decipher. Nigerians are beginning to discern. Thanks to credible media that is rising in profile and outreach. Nigerians, we were called today that when you hear bad news, when you hear wrong news, fake news, disregard it, take it for what it is. I was a victim. Fake social media accounts opened like daily in my name, communicating with the world that I didn't know on controversial issues, to the extent that I had to hold a special conference to stop that. Now they're doing it on my boss, Peter Obi. It cannot continue. You see, people who are calling black, white, and using all instruments to enforce it, they will now turn around to say that where you have insecurity, there is security. Where you can glaringly see the dollar at 715 naira, they will tell you that they have improved their economy. Nigerians go into the markets and buy food stuff 3-4 times what they used to buy before now, and they will still tell you we have fixed your economy.